All right, what's good with the BlakGooseTV family? I want to go ahead and do a reaction to Devin Haney speaking about Teofimo Lopez and basically his opinion when it comes to how Lopez reacted to the particular loss that he had against Kambosos last year. Also, reacting to what Teofimo Sr. is saying himself. If you guys don't remember, which I'm pretty sure you should, Teofimo Lopez, he's one of the bigger stars in boxing. Obviously, Kambosos and Devin Haney was set, and we're gearing toward that happening on June 4th. So I'm pretty sure everyone in their mama knows when it comes to, how Teofimo, happened to react after the loss to Kambosos. One of the biggest red flags when it came to that situation was his father. His father basically said he did not lose. There was all these different excuses that came from Teofimo, Senior, and whether the excuses were warranted, whether they were true or not, at the end of the day, the man who got their hand raised was Kambosos Jr., so you have to acknowledge that, and that was something that wasn't acknowledged from Teofimo's team. Maybe Teofimo Lopez acknowledged it to an extent, but there was still some kind of like a backdoor excuse, which a lot of people weren't happy about, but Teofimo Lopez Sr. did not acknowledge it. Even as recent as the other day, Lopez Sr. was asked about the Kambosos fight, and he said himself he did not lose that fight. He said Lopez did not lose. The only person who beat Lopez was himself, et cetera, blaming it on, various excuses and whatever the case may be. Look, if Lopez had a broken arm and he couldn't use his right arm and he decided to fight and he went in there and he was hindered and he was fighting with one arm, if he lost that fight, I'm not going to say the only reason he lost it was because he didn't have a right arm. The reason why it's not fair to say that is because you signed on the dotted line, you chose to move forward, and you chose to get in the ring with someone with limited capabilities. So if you decide to do that, you were confident enough in your training camp and your skill to believe that you would be able to beat said opponent with those limited capabilities. So if you were confident enough to feel that you would beat that said opponent with those limited abilities after the fight is over and you lost, you cannot blame that same limited capabilities as the reason why you lost, because if you were that confident going to the fight with those limited capabilities, you should also have the same type of, at least in my opinion, humble humble aspect to the humble aspect and perspective to the whole entire situation, where you understand, hey, if I had enough confidence feeling I can go in and beat this guy with one arm, if I lose, I can't blame it on the fact I only have one arm, because if I was confident to think I could beat him with it, then obviously I lost because my skill level isn't at that same, isn't what I thought it was, or he's better than what I thought it was. So really, that's what it should be placed on. But either way, like I said, Lopez, he hasn't been as egregious when it comes to his aspect or perspective of the fight with Kambosos, but his dad definitely has, and I don't blame him. It's his pops. Defend your son at all times. Your son better than anybody else. Never back down. Give it the LeVar Ball treatment type shit. You know what I'm saying? We're criticizing you now, but maybe at the end of the day, we're going to be praising you for, what we didn't know and you did. So I want to go ahead, react to Devin Haney, see what he had to say. You see right here in the title of the particular video. It seems like he has some strong words, but let's listen to him himself, and let's see if those words were as strong as what the video is actually, implementing. All right, so let's check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the volume on. Let's listen.
Also, just Teofimo made out a couple comments out saying that the Zone had things in plan, but ironically, you're on ESPN and you're on his side. So
real quick, I'm gonna let him finish, but yeah, great way to start. If for Teofimo Lopez to say that, hey, part of me losing had to do with conspiracy theories of Kambosos, having a close relationship with, him and his promoter having a close relationship with the Zone. So keeping the in-house between. Remember, I said that myself, not in the conspiracy theory aspect, but I said after Kambosos win, it only makes for Devin Haney to be the next big fight. Because we're talking about a guy in Kambosos who's his promoting, Louis DeBella and his promotion team is a little bit closer with the Zone and Eddie Hearn when it comes to Kambosos' side again, because he's originally from overseas, not originated in America. He has a bigger fan base, so it only makes sense to make the fight with Devin Haney because there's a whole lot more money to be made. They're going to be more willing to actually make it in Australia, etc. But I was surprised, and to my surprise, they went with Loma instead. And that comes down to, in my opinion, the bigger entity of Bob Arum and Top Rank being able to shelf out more money for the fight to be taking place, for them to have broadcasting rights, and then also they're willing to take a bigger risk because they want Loma to be that motherfucker so bad they're willing to put any money out there. For Crawford, they're like, you not bringing the money, but for Loma, they're like, nigga, I'll lose as much money as I can to try and put Loma back at that top spot, which makes no sense, but let's continue.
You made a couple statements saying that the fact that everything was all, I guess, written for you and Kambosos.
How can he say that it was written with me and Kambosos if he lost? It wasn't like he went in there and he got robbed. He really lost. He got dropped and he lost. George won fair and square, whether he like it or not. The people that truly watch know that George really won. So
I like I hate to interrupt him, but I like Devin Haney as he's coming into his own and he's growing older. Like, say what you want, but this guy's going to be the next big thing for boxing. He has it all: character, charisma, the way he talks, the way he box, the way he walk, and he's taking on big fights at a young age. I'm telling you right now. In 3 years, we're gonna look back and we're gonna wonder of all these guys we've been talking about this division, who's gonna be the motherfucker who comes out and shines. It's this man, this motherfucking man right here. This man is going to be shining.
how can it be fixed when you lost?
How are you so young
And the
with so
fact that you're
much
going to
knowledge?
ESPN and fighting on that
Yeah, he said
network.
the zone set it up or something like that. It was
Carries
set up
himself
through the
with
zone,
knowledge.
but
I have
fighting
the
on
utmost
ESPN,
respect for
so
Devin.
he can say what he want to say. I told you guys he was delusional before, and it started to show like something's wrong. Like he might need to get some help or something because I'm worried about him for real.
And you mean that in the most
Yeah,
respectful way,
yeah,
not
yeah.
like because of the social media things.
No. Like
Mhm.
I truly think that something is wrong because he really believes that he said something about a decision. It was already made, bro. You lost. And you gotta you have to acknowledge that to get better or to to go out and get more. Understanding you lost to the better man that night, and you keep it pushing. You go back to the drawing board and you get back to the top.
Man, what a response from
Short
Devin.
started.
What a response from Devin Haney right there. I completely agree with him. Hey, I'm a big fan of Devin Haney, and I'm even bigger fan after this response, man. But what do you guys think about it? It's not about what I think; it's about what you guys think. By the way, my mouth is hurting like a motherfucker pod. But so I'm gonna go ahead and end this joint. I want to see what you guys think about this particular video. What do you guys think about the reaction? Do you agree with Devin Haney? Think Teofimo Lopez is delusional? You think he's just not accepting his loss, and you think in the long run, him having this attitude will negatively affect his career more so than him just having a different perspective, saying, "Hey, I lost, but." Even though I lost, I know I'm the better man because I came in with these different aspects. So I just got to prove that to y'all. But he's not even taking that route. He's taking a route where he's like, there's no way I should have lost that fight. So, what are you guys' opinion on it? Do you agree with Devin Haney? Do you disagree? Do you guys have, you guys are on a total different spectrum to what he said, to what I said, whatever it may be? Drop it in the comments below. I want to hear from you. As always, like the video, subscribe. Much love to the people. I'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully, you guys are having a very, very blessed Wednesday. And please, 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 it's not always about the love, but it's about the care. You know what I'm saying? If someone's going through something that you care about, don't hesitate to be there for them. Fuck the rest. Today ain't promised, tomorrow ain't promised. So make sure the people that you care about are taken care of and they know